Hi, I'm Shauna. I'm back, and I'm still here with Jaya. Jaya. And Grace. Oh, everybody's sleeping. And Raven. Who's Raven? Oh, there's Grace. She turned to say hello. So we're here to finish up book 3 in the Betty Dog series. It's Betty Dog and Jaya's Power Pack. Can you see? I'll go up a little. So we're on chapter 11, dress rehearsal. The late afternoon sun was still high in the sky. Make sure it's recording. It was June. The warm golden rays turned the athletic fields into a sea of light before stretching across the parking lot around the school. The cars were just starting to arrive. Car doors popped open as the students were dropped off for the final dress rehearsal for the annual school musical. Excitement was in the air as everyone, dressed in their brightly colored costumes, trudged along across the parking lot and onto the sidewalks. The girls carried their hats and signs, while they laughed and checked each other's makeup. The boys were laughing too as they saw each other in their costumes for the first time. They carried special props and stopped long enough to call out to each other before heading into the building. Cool Kid and 2 of his friends were just leaving school for the day when they stopped to watch nearly 80 of their classmates going inside. And then Cool Kid spotted Noah nearby on the sidewalk, surrounded by 3 smiling girls posing for selfies and laughing. Their happiness filled the air. Cool Kid paused for a second and looked at the bottle of water he was holding in his hand. Quickly, he raised his arm and hurled it forcefully through the air. It was a short distance, but missed its target, which was Noah, who had already turned away and was almost to the door. "Stupid Noah," sneered Cool Kid to his smiling friends. "Did you see how stupid he looked in his ugly costume?" "Well, hello," said the vice principal as he came up behind Cool Kid. "Just saw you throw that water bottle at a group of students. You have a pretty bad aim, with a pretty bad attitude. I think you should come inside with me and be my helper. I'll need someone to assist with cleanup after the rehearsal this afternoon, and maybe when we're done it will improve your attitude as well. You other boys may leave." Inside the building, teachers were directing students into different groups. Some waited in seats in the auditorium, while others were up on the stage. Suddenly there was a hush as the lights went out, the stage lit up, and the music began. Boys and girls moved to the beat of the music and began a dance routine which filled the entire stage. And in that crowd of dancers was Noah, with his back to the audience. He skillfully moved to the center of the stage and turned around. His eyes sparkled with happiness. He took the microphone, looked out over the audience, and smiled ever so slightly. And then he opened his mouth to sing. His voice was powerful. His voice was perfection. He was no longer Noah, the middle school student. He transformed into a brave, strong man, risking everything to show people how important it was to work together as a country. He sang about standing up for anyone who wasn't being treated fairly. He was a powerful vision of hope and determination. He was magic. The students who had been waiting in auditorium seats rose to their feet and began wildly cheering and applauding. Teachers and volunteers were clapping too, and then the music stopped and it was silent. The stage went dark. With just a single spotlight on Noah, he sang without music playing. No instruments, alone, just his amazing voice, singing "America the Beautiful." His voice filled every corner of the auditorium. It floated between the students, wrapping them in an invisible cloud of beauty. In that moment, they were all one, filled with a love for every American and gratitude for everything that was good and right. Everyone who heard Noah that afternoon had a forever moment. Someday, when they were grown-ups, they would remember that rehearsal and say that they were forever changed for the better. Someday, they would tell their kids and grandkids that they didn't just watch a musical about the moral growth of their country. Listening to Noah sing, they felt as if they had actually lived it. Meanwhile, Cool Kid stood in the back of the auditorium holding a bag of trash. His mouth fell open, and the bag slowly slid out of his hand and dropped to the floor as he listened to the most beautiful thing he'd heard in his life. And then he clapped, louder and faster, and in his loud, booming Cool Kid voice, he shouted out cheers for Noah. For the first time ever, he felt a surge of happiness in being part of something bigger and better than himself. It washed over him like a huge wave in the ocean. Then it lifted him up like a seagull in the wind. His Cool Kid face changed from a sneer to a real smile. Suddenly, the lights came back on. Everyone roared with approval and threw their hands into the air. After a few minutes, 2 teachers took the microphone and shouted orders to get everyone to calm down. It was time for the next scene as the rest of the rehearsal continued. Chapter 12, Power Pack. Uncle Chase, I can't find the remote for the TV in your living room, said Fiona, as she stepped over BD, who was laying in the doorway to the kitchen. Our school musical is going to be on the local cable channel, and it's starting soon. Did you look in Betty Dog's basket of toys? Asked Chase, who took a bag of popcorn out of the microwave. And look what I made, he said with a smile. He carefully opened the bag as a cloud of hot steam escaped, and then poured the popcorn into 3 small bowls. Yay for the popcorn, laughed Fiona. And why would your remote be with BD's toys? I don't understand. I know she watches TV, but don't tell me she changes the channels, too. We don't know how it gets in with her stuff, said Becca, who took a jug of iced tea out of the fridge. We just know that every time it disappears, that's where we're going to find it. Fiona stepped over BD again and went back into the living room. Sure enough, there was the remote, underneath a beat-up teddy bear and some chew toys. She turned on the TV and began scrolling as she searched for the local community channel. Finally, she found it. The banner for her school was displayed on the screen, while some background music played. Okay, everyone, said Becca as she carried 3 glasses of iced tea into the room and put them on the end table. Ready for a night at the theater? Can't wait to see our favorite supporter. That's pretty funny, Aunt Becca, laughed Fiona. There were about 80 supporters in the show, and I'll be lucky if I can find myself in the crowd. My shirt and headband were yellow, so look for anybody in a yellow costume and see if it's me. Chase came in and sat on the couch next to Fiona and Becca. BD laid in front of the TV, watching with interest, as the principal stood on the stage and welcomed everyone to the performance. Then the camera panned to the audience. It was a packed auditorium. Chase turned the light out and the living room was dark, lit only by the bright TV screen. Both Fiona and Becca gave him a questioning look. Just setting the mood, he told them, like we're in the theater. They just laughed and nodded approvingly as they reached for their popcorn bowls. And then the music started and several dancers moved across the stage. Someone was very professional with the video camera, said Becca. This looks great. It's like a real TV show or movie scene. I see you, Fiona, shouted Chase. You're in the upper right-hand corner. Oh wait, now you're in the lower right-hand corner. Gosh, you move fast, but I can tell it's you. You're right, said Fiona, as the camera zoomed in for a few seconds on her smiling face. You kids sure can dance, commented Becca. Is anyone recording this? We should save this. No, I never thought of it, said Chase. Quick, hit the DVR button and we can save it. The girls and boys danced a little longer before the stage went dark and Noah stepped up to the microphone to begin his solo. Chase, Becca, and Fiona watched in silence as he gave a powerful performance that ended with thunderous applause. Are you okay, Aunt Becca? Asked Fiona, who saw her wipe a tear from her eye. Yes, honey, she laughed. It's just that I'm so blown away by Noah. I think I'm in awe of him. Not just his voice, but his presence. Wow. You okay? Couple more minutes. Raven. Getting all rammy. Where am I? Yes, honey, she laughed. It's just that I'm so blown away by Noah. I think I'm in awe of him. Not just his voice, but his presence. Wow. I had no idea that was in him, said Chase. What do you mean, that was in him? Asked Fiona. His gift. His voice is a gift. I had no idea that gift was in him. Not just his voice, but his... Chase paused to think. His energy. It was like he went from being a student and became joy. Not just joyful. If joy could be human, it would look and sound like Noah. All right, honey. Wow, honey, said Becca to Chase as she wiped her eyes with a tissue. What a beautiful thing to say. Everyone in school thinks Noah has a good voice, if that's what you guys mean, said Fiona. But can I ask you something? Betty Dog walked over to Fiona and laid her head on her lap. Fiona rubbed the top of her head and continued. Does everybody have a gift? Absolutely, Chase and Becca answered together. Well, if singing is Noah's gift, what's mine? Asked Fiona. Sometimes it's something you're really good at, like painting, dancing, math, or singing, said Becca. But it also has to be something that you love, something that makes you happy. If you're a good computer coder, but you hate it, then it's probably not your gift. What do you like to do? I don't know, she answered. It's not dancing, she said as she glanced at the TV screen. I'm an okay dancer, but it's not something I love doing. Now I'm worried. What if I can't find my gift? Oh, wow, answered Chase. We forgot to say that most people don't find out what their gift is until they're older, so don't worry, said Chase. And this part is very important, added Becca. You should have fun doing lots of different things, and then one day you'll find that you're great at something but never realized it before. So if you don't know what your gift is, it's because you haven't done it yet. Becca smiled at her, so just have fun being you and see what happens. And Becca's right. Hey, let's watch the rest of the musical. I want to listen to the students in the big choir sing again. You kids are fantastic, said Chase. Thanks, Uncle Chase, laughed Fiona. I think your gift is making popcorn. You make the best popcorn in the world. Is it something you love doing? She asked with a teasing smile. Absolutely, and Aunt Becca cries tears of joy every time I make it, he said. They all looked at each other and then exploded into fits of laughter. Beadie looked over her shoulder and wagged her tail gently as she felt the happiness flow through the room. Then she turned back to the TV and watched the rest of the musical. As the vibrations of the beautiful music and children's voices danced through Betty Dog's head, she closed her eyes and became lost in her thoughts. Becca and Chase were right to tell Fiona that everyone has a gift, Beadie thought. It's true. I don't care who you are, where you live, or what you look like. Everybody is born with a gift inside. But what Becca and Chase forgot to mention is that someone's gift isn't always a skill, like singing, dancing, or playing sports. Sometimes a person's gift is not easy to see or hear, but believe me that it's there. It might be more about who they are as a person, what makes them special and unique, and how they use that to help others. My own gift is not obvious to people, thought Betty Dog, as she shifted into a more comfortable position. My special gift is how I can think deeply and honestly, and about my strong sense of right from wrong, and good from bad. I like to use this gift to help others think about their lives, especially when they are confused and aren't sure what the right thing to do is. Gracie's gift is about how she can feel things in a unique way. She doesn't just feel her own feelings, she can feel other people's feelings just as well. It's amazing. This makes it easier for her to share forgiveness, or the ultimate release, as she calls it. She helps others to see how they too can forgive and release when they're hurt or angry. Jaya's special gift is the ability to find truth. When everybody has a different story about someone, it can be hard to know what the real story is. But when someone only has a part of the story, but thinks they understand the whole thing, they can accidentally hurt people. Jaya was able to help the girls get a second chance when they made the mistake of signing a petition that would hurt an innocent classmate. She was able to pay it forward. But many times we don't get that chance, and I think the girls realized what an amazing gift they received that day. Something magical happens when Gracie, Jaya, and I put all of our special gifts together. They create a powerful blend of gifts that make the world a better place. We are a power pack. And what is the best thing a power pack can do with their power? Share it. Shine it on others. Spread it with peace, kindness, and respect. Pay it forward and watch the power get bigger. Watch other people's special gifts rise up and see how everyone feels happier and more joyful. Our power pack is just the beginning. We are 3 dogs who have found our gifts and have used our power to help others. But everyone can use their gifts to make their own power packs. What are your gifts? How can you shine your light on the world? When you were born, you were filled with the power of good, love, and light, and all of that is still inside of you. It's time to shine your light now on the world. Shine. Love, Betty Dog. The end. And that's the end of Book 3 in the Betty Dog series. So thanks for following along. I'm going to let Raven say goodbye. She's definitely ready to go back home, back to her little house. Say bye. We had fun. All right, take care.